In today's video, I'm going to be filling a spread in my sketchbook. It's been a while since I've done this, so I thought it'd be fun. Also, real quick, before we get into the video, I wanted to let you know that I have a Patreon. Feel free to support me. There will be a link in the description. Now let's get into the video. I decided not to record myself sketching this spread because it's very hard for you guys to see and it makes it a little more relaxing for me personally. And for the sketchbook spread, I am going to be using Ohuhu paint markers, which this video is sponsored, which I was very happy about because I absolutely love Ohuhu and their products. This video is sponsored, but all opinions are my own. But they were so nice and sent me these markers. They sent me 2 different packs of markers. And the first pack they sent me was a 24 color set, which is really cool because it comes with these 2 different markers. One has a broader nib and one has a fine nib, which I thought was really unique. I notice often for sets, they don't really give you 2 of the same color but with different nibs, which I just thought was really cool. Because I like paint markers, but they're often too wide in the nib for my liking, especially because my sketchbook is kind of on the smaller side. And this has 24 colors. It's a 48 pack, so there's 48 markers, but 24 colors. And I thought these were really nice. I really enjoyed these. I also got sent the Ohuhu Direct Ink acrylic markers. It's a 24 color set, and something kind of unique about these markers is that you don't need to pump them. They're just already filled with ink and you don't need to pump them at all. You just gotta make sure you shake them so the paint is well mixed, but you don't have to pump them at all, and they glided super nicely and they give a really soft look, and I think they're really cute and I enjoyed using them. Anyways, I'm gonna get into the sketchbook spread and kind of explain why I decided to draw some of these things or why I think I maybe wanted to draw them. The first thing I'm drawing is a strawberry shortcake. I always love strawberry shortcake. I think it's so good. I love it. It might be one of my favorite desserts. It's just so yummy and it's so cute too. I'm pretty sure one of the reasons I wanted to draw this was because I was watching this video and they're making Yumio patisserie desserts. And Yumio patisserie is a shoujo anime where they are in like a baking school and they like make tons of desserts. And it's a really cute, wholesome anime. I honestly keep wanting to rewatch it just because I love that anime so much. I watched it with my older sister because we bought it on DVD at some point, and me and her watched it all together. I can't remember how old I was, but yeah, I was just kind of thinking about desserts, or even so I keep kind of baking desserts recently, but nothing that fancy, kind of just making like cookies and stuff like that. So I'm just kind of in a baking mood, a dessert mood too. I keep wanting to like eat like crepes. I find for the slice of cake, I had more fun coloring it than sketching it. And I don't know why I had more fun coloring it. I think it's just because there were so many more decisions to make. At least that's what it kind of felt like. And I was just excited to use new art supplies, of course. But I just had a lot of fun. I kind of like how I broke up the lines, added little dots. I was a little unsure about the dots at first, but I'm glad I added them. And I'm happy with the color choices I made. I just think it turned out really cute. I did also have this little flower beside the cake. I kind of wish I didn't put it there. But at the same time though, it's kind of cute. Why not have a little flower? Often the things I sketch in my sketchbook are very random. They're kind of just whatever comes to mind or whatever inspires me. I would say my sketchbook is like dumping my brain in its purest form. Of course it's a little neater than I feel like my brain probably actually is. But that's just because I really like making my sketchbook cute. So I will choose like a color palette for each spread and like add little squiggles on top at the end. But that's just my personal preference for how I like to fill my sketchbook. I like making mine a little more aesthetic, you could say. But of course I do have some ugly spreads in there, or ugly. In the bottom left corner, I decided to draw a little cute crow. I saw a little doodle or drawing on Pinterest. I don't think I saved it at all, but I just saw a little drawing of a crow and I just thought it was really cute. So I decided to draw a crow of my own, heavily taking inspiration from this little doodle. And it's just a little bird. I ended up making him angry towards the end, and I also gave him like a top hat, so he's like a fancy angry crow. And I also gave this like hatching on him, which I thought the hatching was a nice touch. It's not very obvious, but I think it turned out cute and I just like it in general. I really enjoy drawing derpy animals. I think drawing derpy animals is really fun. It's not something I enjoyed when I was younger, but as I've gotten older, I feel I've become more of a fan of simplistic and derpy drawings. But yeah, I just think he looks cute and he's so angry. He doesn't have a name at all, so I probably need to name him or something. Or he can just be an angry bird, but I feel like he kind of needs a name. This drawing is of a girl wearing shades. I found a reference on Pinterest and I really wanted to draw shades because I bought some prescription shades off of a website. They're like pretty cheap. I think they were only like 50, 40? I think they were 40 bucks. But I think it ended up being about 50 with shipping. The 50 bucks is pretty cheap for prescription shades. I just bought them off a website and they seem pretty nice. I haven't worn them a whole bunch yet. I've kind of tried them on, but I thought they were really cute. They're really sassy looking. They kind of give like really beachy diva vibes, at least to me. But I really like them and I think they're really cute. I mostly wanted to be able to wear shades while I'm driving because the sun can be so annoying when you're driving. Which, speaking of driving, I had to repair my car recently. Well, I guess my new car. I recently bought a car for my older brother and my older brother just didn't want his car anymore and he didn't think it had much of issues. There was like some slight leak. He knew there was a slight leak. I was like, oh, okay. Well, maybe that isn't that big of a deal. And then I also needed to get new tires, which he already knew he needed new tires, but I just took it in to go get new tires. And there was basically so many things wrong with it and he had no idea. That was just like everything was basically wrong with this car. And like I had to pay like $3,000 in car repairs. So I'm like paying all this money for like car repairs. And I wasn't expecting to pay this much money for the car repairs. And I just spontaneously bought this car from him. Like, I didn't like think about it or think it out really. I was just like, oh yeah, sure, that's an upgrade from my current car. So I just bought it from him, not knowing that I was gonna have to like pay so much on top of it. And I still haven't even bought in tires yet. So I still have to buy tires. And like, yeah, anyways, most of you guys probably don't care about car repairs, but car repairs are expensive, guys. So I'm going to be saving up money for a bit, for sure. Anyways, back to the picture. I decided to make her shades brown just because I thought it'd be cute and soft. And there is a few skin tone options in these color sets. I ended up using this like peachy color. It's a little vibrant for my liking. It's a little too bright for me, but it's still a cute and good color, I would say. I also made her hair this coral color and I went with purple for her headscarf and her turtleneck. I was worried I wasn't going to be able to get the details of her nose and mouth, but luckily it was actually pretty easy, which I'm so glad. And that's why I love how like tiny these nibs are. They're like really, really tiny, but they don't flow poorly. The paint doesn't come out super choppy like, it just flows super nicely and they're just like very juicy and full of ink, which is very nice. This next picture is a little clown. I drew it in my chibi art style. I just found a clown on Pinterest and I thought the outfit was kind of cute. I personally kind of like the aesthetic of clowns. For some reason, I think they're kind of cute. Of course, not all of them are cute. Like, there's creepy clowns, but like, I feel like often the aesthetic can be really, really cute. And I have some figurines of like precious moment clowns. I also have a doll too. I'll take some pictures and pop them up on the screen. But I just think they're really cute for some reason. I don't know, I just think the aesthetic of clowns is kind of cool and cute. And they're just very fun, very colorful, and I kind of like it. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I personally think it's really cute. I had a lot of fun drawing her big hair and giving her a red nose, her rosy cheeks, the big bow on her head. I decided to also, on her bow, add these like orange stripy polka dot things. It's just kind of how I usually fill in things when I don't want to fully color them. I'll just like draw lines inside of it just because I think it looks cute. And yeah, and I gave her little beads in her hair and just had fun with it. And I think she turned out really cute. She's one of my more favorite drawings on this spread, along with the piece of cake. I really like how the cake turned out. I also drew a little clown cat. I honestly just didn't know what to draw, and I was just scrolling on Pinterest for ages. And this little cat was the only thing that kind of inspired me. The cat is very doodly and kind of poorly drawn, but I just drew a little cat there, mostly to fill space. Sometimes I do that in my sketchbook where I'll just sketch something kind of poorly, just to fill space in my sketchbook. Of course, I don't mean to do a bad job, it just kind of happens. I was originally going to give the cat pom-poms on his hat, but I decided to not give him the pom-poms for some reason. And underneath him is this girl with bangs covering her eyes, and her hair is in pigtails. She was originally going to have a choker, but I got rid of the choker for, again, some reason, don't really know. She was also drawn in the same situation as the cat. I drew them both in the same sitting. So they're both a little poorly drawn, but I kind of like the girl more than the cat personally. I think she just turned out cute for some reason. For some reason, I just feel like she turned out really cute. She seems really sweet. I think it's because I gave her the little blushing lines and she just kind of seems sweet and shy. And I just like the colors I chose too. For some reason, I like all of her colors together. I just think it turned out really, really cute. I had a lot of fun drawing these pictures. Towards the end, this is something I always like to do when I finish a spread in my sketchbook. I take a marker. In this case, I use the paint markers again and I draw shapes and lines around them. I really wanted to put a big block of color around the girl of shades. When I originally was sketching this spread, I was thinking about putting like blue behind her, but for some reason when I looked at the spread, I thought green. And I don't know how I completely feel about the green, but I do feel like the green was a fun choice and it does work. But I think a part of me is more biased towards pinks and blues and purples. So a part of me does wish I chose pink just because I really like pink. But I also think the green is really fun with the spread because it keeps with the randomness of the colors, you know, if that makes any sense. So I did a combination of lines, sparkles, these dots, circles, and yeah, I always love doing these lines that go up and down and lines that go sideways. I often do them in my sketchbook spreads, and I'll do like lines that go around my characters. It's just something I kind of do to make my spreads look a little fancier, make the space a little more filled, and make it look really cute and aesthetic. And yeah, that's it for the sketchbook spread. I hope you guys enjoyed getting to see me fill my sketchbook. And once again, thank you to Ohuhu for sponsoring this video. I had so much fun getting to use these paint markers and just having the opportunity to fill a sketchbook spread with them. Let me know if you guys want to see more videos like this and more videos of just me sketching in my sketchbook and making some very chill art. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and all have a good rest of your day. Bye!